senators, and representatives, I have the distinguished honor of presenting.
Stalin's rise to power marked a turning point in Soviet history. His vision for rapid industrialization and agricultural modernization required extreme measures, one of which was forced collectivization. In this lesson, we'll explore Stalin's collectivization policy, the forced migrations it entailed, and the devastating consequences that followed. Stalin introduced collectivization in 1929 as part of his plan to modernize the Soviet Union. This policy had two main objectives: replace small peasant farms with collective farms, kolkhoz, and requisition grain to support urbanization and industrialization. Grain was extracted from rural areas to feed the rapidly growing urban population and fund industrial projects through exports. Collectivization wasn't voluntary. Peasants were forced to give up their land, tools, and livestock to join collective farms, with a state-dictated production and distribution. The policy formally began in 1929 with active enforcement by state officials, the secret police, NKVD, and the Communist Party. By the early 1930s, collectivization was in full swing, reshaping the lives of millions. The term kulaks referred to wealthier peasants who owned more land or livestock than their neighbors. Stalin labeled them as class enemies and obstacles to progress. Policies against kulaks included confiscating their land, livestock, and tools to redistribute among collective farms. Approximately 1.5 million kulaks were forcibly relocated between 1930 and 1933, most sent to harsh environments in Siberia or to labor camps known as gulags. Many kulaks and other peasants resisted collectivization by destroying crops and killing livestock. Stalin responded with severe reprisals, including mass arrests, executions, and additional deportations. This turmoil contributed significantly to the Holodomor famine in Ukraine, where millions perished due to food shortages deliberately worsened by state grain requisitions. Collectivization prompted widespread displacement, with 19 million peasants moving from rural areas to cities, driven by economic desperation or forced relocation. For kulaks and dissenters, relocation wasn't a choice but a sentence. They were transported to Siberia or gulags under brutal conditions, often with little food or shelter. The human suffering was immense. Families were torn apart, and the death toll in labor camps was staggering. The long-term impacts of Stalin's policies were profound, including agricultural decline, urbanization, and social fragmentation. Historians view collectivization as a brutal but pivotal chapter in Soviet history, where ideology often outweighed humanity. Stalin's forced collectivization reshaped the Soviet Union, but at an unimaginable human cost. Millions were uprooted and countless lives were lost. This policy highlights the dangers of authoritarian power and the devastating effects of prioritizing ideology over human welfare. By studying these events, we gain critical insights into the importance of governance that values people above political objectives.